Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, Air the Ohio Patriot, and for today's episode, we're going to talk about America's freak show side, aka the freaky deaky side of America, which I'm calling it that because it's really two stories we're going to talk about today. One of them is obviously about those conjoined twins, and I guess they finally announced, what their weird ass sex life looks like, which is weird as shit, honestly. And then there's another one where it is about another one of these trans motherfuckers that got caught in Illinois recently trying to do a mass shooting there, and another kid's school is what it was there. So, and I know Matt kind of talked about it at the end of his stream tonight is what it was. So we'll talk about it in full details. It'll be here then. Tomorrow's Buckshot Thursday, by the way, will now officially be a movie review. If I can get it done tonight, here's what it'll be, because I plan on doing this in the next hour or so is what it is. I'm going to watch that, what's it called now? Sorry, I'm trying to find the name of this right now. Against All Enemies, which I kind of zipped through it yesterday is what it was. And I'll tell you what, dude, I've never seen a bigger piece of shit propaganda hit piece against the right and just centrist people in this country ever that barely have anything about distrust of government. And when I was watching parts of this and stuff, because I only watched I was skimming through it basically, and I heard them talking about the Whitmer thing and near the end of it or whatever, and I'm just like, okay, let me listen to this bullshit. And it was a bunch of lies, honestly, about her whole fucking fake ass kidnapping thing. They didn't mention one word about it being a bunch of fucking Fed boy informants that were the ones doing most of the shit is what it was there. And how they were literally trying to entrap a couple guys, and that's exactly why some of those guys that did end up getting arrested for the whole thing actually fought entrapment charges is what it is now, and basically are suing people on entrapment charges and stuff like that to get out of jail again is what it is there. So, which good on them, honestly. I'll say it like that, man. That being said, what I think is funny too, by the way, and thing they never do mention about that actually, is how at least a couple of those guys, I'm not sure if it's the ones who were not the Fed boys or if it was ones that actually were the Fed boys or not, but either way, at least two of the guys involved in that one, I think it was the ones that were actually arrested for this so-called plaza, what it was, we're 100% Antifa and BLM motherfuckers, dude. So it's are you fucking kidding me, people? Come on now. Which does kind of bring credence to the fact that, got to put on the cool gray cowboy hat. This one doesn't quite fit my head as good as the black one does over there, but it does have this cool band on it, so that is cool. So, plus it's more, this is more like my hippie hat, honestly, like my hippie cowboy hat. Yeah, it doesn't quite right here in my forehead brim, it's just a teeny bit small. It needs to be that much wider, basically, to get me perfect is what it is. It kind of hurts when I have it on my head, honestly, because it needs to stretch out a little bit more is what it is there or something. But yeah, I'll probably wear something like this, honestly, when shit kicks off. Probably Monday or so, I'll probably wear this, honestly, on the stream then. Or I might just go back to the old, pull it up here, the old black cowboy hat that just fits just a teeny weeny bit better. Actually, that feels better right now, yeah. Yeah, it fits just a teeny bit better, actually. So I'm almost wondering if it's not just a little bit smaller size on this one. But then again, it could be the fact this one has a pull down more is what it is there, which this one does not have that thing. So, but yeah, both of these hats I got 50 cents at the a piece at that place. So, $1 for two nice cowboy hats is what it is. Made of they're obviously made in China, but they're made of cotton and polymer, or sorry, polyester. So yeah, it's basically a nice, thing. Which I thought that one I got that was a white one, I was gonna get my niece is what it was. I thought that was actually a better one too, but it wasn't. It was not good at all. It had nothing to do with any of this shit. It's basically just junk. So that probably is worth about $1, honestly, or so. But anyway, so yeah, so to go and talk about some stuff, here's what it'll be. But like I said, we're going to talk more about the that Against All Enemies BS documentary or something, but leftist propaganda shit is what it is. Tomorrow on Buckshot, we'll do a full review of that episode or that series. And I think what I'm going to try to do actually is I'm going to get a whole thing ready to go right now as soon as I watch that is what it'll be. And it'll be just me stopping every so often in the thing and doing like timestamps of that movie or documentary thing. There's what it is because it's like I think it's like an hour and 40 something minutes or something like that's what it is. So I think honestly what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like different timestamps and stuff like that and discuss different things of those timestamps is what it is. I know there's definitely like mostly attacks on veterans in this country and that bullshit. And essentially, like NEA was saying, it's basically them trying to compare all these military vets to fucking Timothy McVeigh and stuff like that, which is a whole can of worms in itself right there because, you know, nobody ever talks about the second man in that fucking, that vehicle that suddenly disappeared and stuff like that, and how McVeigh was actually potentially a MK Ultra guy, and the dude that, like, nobody, there was, like, video evidence of that guy or whatever, they sort of just disappeared out of nowhere is what it was most likely his handler, the same way that one kid that did that shooting up there at that supermarket in New York there, that top supermarket shooting is what it was there. That whole thing was definitely a fucking psyop, dude, because it was some FBI agent guy that was like definitely handling that kid is what it was, and getting him to do that fucking massacre is what it was there. Which that actually is a really weird one when it comes to like psyop / false flag, because supposedly it was a security guard that worked at that place who was inventing some kind of a car that would run on water is what it was. And there's been talk of that actually being the real reason that guy was murdered, and it was basically staged as an actual mass shooting to kill that dude specifically, but they had to kill other people, obviously, making it not look like it was like, you know, 100% like a hit job, basically. So I don't know how true that is or not, but I just thought it was an interesting theory, honestly. So, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me anymore anyway with like everything going on in this country right now, dude. But anyway, so getting into the weird freaky shit, which is you have those conjoined twin chicks, Brittany and Abby, which are the two women there that apparently, like, from my understanding, I'm assuming that they both have control of like one side of the body is what it is, because essentially what it is it's basically like one body, two heads kind of deal there. Because I think what it was is they actually, like, when they were forming in utero, like neither one of them developed like a full body is what it was. So essentially, if you like would cut them down the middle or whatever the case be, it would kill both of them, obviously. So that means they would. I think what their deal is that they share like a larger heart or something like that, and like obviously they only have one vagina / pussy. So you know when this guy that's the husband of the one is fucking her, he's fucking both of them. Is what it is, dude. Like we already knew that part of it, right? So this is where it gets even weirder on this whole thing because it's them discussing the whole thing here. Which, mind you, these two chicks apparently married this dude like 3 years ago. Or I should say the one technically married him. But the thing is, it's like, obviously it has to be one name for a woman on the certificate there, because you can't say it's like Abby and Brittany are marrying this man, because then it would be fucking polygamy is what it is, dude. Which is a big no-no in this country. Even though it happens in places like Utah with fucking Mormonism and shit like that. And like specifically those LDS sick fuckers that want to, you know, molest kids and shit, which we'll get into that more, honestly, in a little bit here with the that sick son of a bitch there in Illinois. That'll be kind of a transition over that one, though. But anyway. So, yeah. So essentially what it is here is they were talking on X here on March 30th this year. So it was a couple days ago. They said, because everyone is asking, we're just going to tell you, yes, I have, like, this is obviously the one that married the guy. She said, yes, I have sex with my husband. Yes, I go down on him. So she's blowing the guy. Yes, my sister Brittany is there. Yes, my sister and I orgasm as one. But when I sleep with my husband, she's usually reading a book or listening to a true crime podcast. So she just puts the pleasure out of her mind. Uh-huh. Sure she does. Uh-huh. I'm so sure she does, Abby. No. She pretends listens to podcasts / reads a book. But in reality, if you're fucking coming as one, dude, you're just like, oh fuck yeah. Like there's no fucking way, dude. She's not like, oh my god, yeah. Like, and that's the thing. And what's the weirdest part about this is, by the way, I don't know if these chicks can actually have a child or not. But if they do, technically that kid has two moms, because I'm assuming, like, again, like, this is the weird part about the whole thing, right? Because they each have like one side of the body, like this one arm here, one arm there. So it kind of does make me wonder. This is something I actually thought about, and it's something they probably should address at this point. Like, are you cycled up, like synced up with your cycles is what it is? Or is it a situation where it's like, you know, you got one side that has like one ovary and the other side has the other ovary is what it is there? So it's like, you know, is it all at the same time for the period, or is it like 2 periods per month kind of thing where it's like the first one happens like 1 week and then the next one happens like a week later or a couple weeks later or something like that? Because that would be even weirder though. I'm assuming it's a synced up thing or whatever the case be, simply because again they share like, you know, most of a body is what it is there. And I would think that on that one as well is that, you know, I know for a fact that I've heard this before, like when you have a bunch of women living together in a place or whatever the case be, like they'll tend to sync their cycles as well as like individuals and shit. Because it's like a hormone balance thing, whatever the case be. So I assume that's kind of like the same deal with the twins there is what it is there. But the thing is, right, like, you can't honestly tell me, like, and I love how she's like, oh yeah, I totally blow this dude. Is like, okay, and your sister's head is like 3 inches away from yours, right? So, like, you're going in for the blowjob, and she's, like, just sitting there. Like, I don't think, like, y'all are bullshitting, man. Like, there's no way that she ain't getting involved in that stuff, dude. There ain't no way that guy's not getting fucking, like, sucked off from both sides, basically, is what it is. Like that, and that's what would be weird as shit too, by the way, because again, like depending on which half you're, you know, fucking or whatever the case, like, okay, and that's my thing, right? Like say this guy starts sucking on the tits and shit, like, is it only like your side of the tit that he's sucking on, or is it both tits? Because obviously the other one belong to your sister, so it is at that point, you know. So, it, like I said, it's some weird freak show shit, honestly, dude. And it's just it's weird as fuck, honestly. But I guess apparently there's like that dude that they married or whatever had an ex-wife, and I was reading some shit before this about the whole thing, and it was saying something about I guess the ex-wife there is trying to do paternity tests on this dude for like a child he had with this woman or something like that, maybe potentially. So yeah, it's just real fucking odd, dude, in general, and it really does go to show just like how like weird shit like that is, honestly, and it's like it's all weird shit, honestly, dude. And that's the thing. It's like, I feel like it's going to come out at some point that they're just doing polygamous shit, honestly, at this point, which, I mean, how could you not, you know? It's like, again, you are like 2 halves of the same body, basically. And it's like, if he's marrying one of you, he's marrying both of you, you know? It's not like that movie, what the fuck was that one Farrelly Brothers movie? The one with Matt Damon and the other guy. God, I can't think of what the fuck it was called. Was it Stuck on You, Stuck on Me? Something, I don't know, something like that is what it was. Stuck Together. I forget. It was something like Stuck something. But yeah, with that one, it was like this piece of skin that was like conjoining these guys or whatever the case be, and they were like 2 halves of the same fucking thing. And then all they had to do was get like a surgery, and it was like, zing, the fucking shit's done kind of thing or whatever. So, whereas with these chicks, like I said, that would be impossible because they would both die in that surgery is what it is, because they don't have like the organs of both people is what it is there or whatever. So, where it's like the ones where they like conjoin at the head and stuff like that, you know, like it's not like that at all. It's like with this one, it's like the weirdest possible thing they could have had is what it is there. So, yeah, it's just odd, man. It's just really, really odd stuff. But also, I found out this morning that apparently one of the motherfuckers that slandered me, what was that, almost 2 years ago now? I think it's around 2 years ago now, is now following this channel. So fuck you, Baron, you piece of shit. You Antifa fuckboy. And we'll leave it at that right now. I still have a problem with that dude and the rest of these assholes, too. I also do want to point something out. I noticed this the other day, and I'm kind of worried about Guns and Barbecue, a.k.a. John. Because I noticed he hasn't done anything in months now is what it is. He's been gone for at least 4 or 5 months now. And doesn't do any streams at all, if that be the case. And it's kind of making me wonder, like, is he okay for real? Like, you know, that's the thing, right? Like, I was, like, I felt like I was good friends with this man. I felt like we were, you know, best friends potentially at one point. And then all that shit went down. It's a whole thing, man. And, you know, you want to fucking sit there and slander me as a racist? Like, fuck all y'all, man, for real. And meanwhile, you got people on this fucking site who are way more openly racist than anything I ever fucking said on this site, honestly, dude. at any time in my past. And not only that, but then you also have groups of people out there, you're on YouTube is what it is, that not only get their channels promoted by the site that is run by leftists here is what it is, but are openly advocating for child molestation, dude. Which is exactly what this one sick fucker we're going to talk about here in a minute is actually doing. This the Gays Against Groomers called out yesterday is what it was, which is this Jason guy from Illinois. There is what it was that was trying to carry out this mass shooting against kids and stuff. So obviously this was the post they put out here on Gays Against Groomers here on the X page here, where it was this fucking piece of trash right here, this ugly ass looking dude right here. And by the way, I've seen several dudes that look like this guy, honestly, throughout my life, and they're all creepy motherfuckers, what it seems like, honestly, dudes. Just creepy sacks of shit, basically. But yeah, it says Illinois trans-identified male pleads guilty after issuing disturbing school shooting / child rape threats. And then as they were saying there, and this is what Matt was reading on his chat last night is what it was, which was them talking about them openly admitting about them being this Jason guy being a pedo is what it was, self-admitting to that shit. And then claimed in their quote said, "You guys can't do nothing about us. You can cry, put me in national TV, don't care." This is what this asshole is saying, by the way. It says, Jason, quote, Alexa Wiley, so we're just going to say this is Jason Wiley, has pled guilty after threatening to carry out a school shooting, specifically listing and targeting local children. The violent threats spoke positively of that piece of shit that did the Nashville massacre last year, which, you know, I do want to talk about that for a minute, actually, too, for that matter. Like, you know, God rest those kids in heaven at this point, dude, and the people, the adults that died in that situation, too, because it's been over a year now. We just passed the first anniversary of that massacre the other day. It was like the end of March, that's what it was. And yet, meanwhile, in that entire time, in that 360 plus days now, almost 300, I think it's around 370 days now, if I'm not mistaken, we still have yet to get the actual sick fuckers manifesto released at this point in full. Like, I think we all pretty much know what it says, man. It's all, you know, pro fucking trans violence essentially, and then, you know, anti-American shit is what it is there. Like probably pro-communist garbage and stuff like that too. Most likely pro-Antifa and BLM trash is what was that one, would be my guess, honestly. Because I remember, actually, it was interesting. There was that one that happened down in Florida, and it was a, I want to say it was a Dollar General. It was some kind of dollar store. I think it was Dollar General. I don't think it was a Dollar Tree. It was either Dollar General or Family Dollar, maybe. But either way, it was one of those two places. And, yeah, that dude, like, killed some people and then took his own life, was what it was. And they were trying to claim, like, oh, my God, it's a dude targeting minorities and stuff like that. And then it was almost immediately they released that guy's manifesto, is what it was. Which I would not be the least bit surprised if that manifesto that was released for that person was actually the fucking Nashville manifesto instead of, like, and it was essentially just them, like, crossing out words and, like, putting in different words is what it was then. Where it's like, oh, yeah, you know, like, Christians gets crossed out and replaced with, like, you know, minorities or something like that, what it is. And shit like that. Because it would make a lot of sense, honestly, dude. For them to already have that. And I know for a fact that won't happen after that one last year in Nashville, so it would make sense for them to go and do shit like that, honestly. But anyway, it's just all disgusting shit, man. And it's a bunch of sick fucking people that have no business, you know, being around here is what it is, man. Like, they should all be in prison for the rest of their lives at bare minimum is what it is. But yeah, so they spoke positively with that piece of shit that did in Nashville. It said the deranged lunatic who committed a mass murder in Tennessee school, which inspired that Wiley piece of shit's plan to commit a similar act of terrorism in the name of, quote, transgender rights. That's another thing, too, by the way. How the fuck are you going to sit there and talk about killing innocent Christian kids as a thing for transgender rights? Like, what the hell kind of sick, fucked up mentality are you on, bro? Like, you got to be, like, so fucked in the head at that point. It ain't even funny, man. Like, these people have, like, serious and that's the problem with our country, dude. It's like, these particular individuals have, like, serious mental health problems that need to be fucking addressed with serious fucking time in an insane asylum. Pretty much the rest of their damn lives, honestly, is what needs to be there, honestly, truthfully speaking. And this is the kind of, by the way, this is the kind of shit that I was trying to call out 2 years ago at this point, dude. That led to that whole falling out myself, Guns and Barbecue, and all these other guys, and then that piece of shit Baron slandering my ass is what it was. Who, by the way, was such a fucking dumbass He didn't understand I wasn't running for the Ohio governorship at that time. I was literally trying to run for state senate is what it was. So yeah, good job, dipshit. You don't even know the fucking actual thing I was trying to run for, you fucking idiot. So, yeah, like these people are so fucking dumb, dude. Not to mention the fact that it's like, bro, you're in Washington State, one of the biggest anti-gun hellholes in this country. I'm in Ohio, a different state that actually gives a shit about our gun rights here. You know, because people like me are actually fighting for that shit. We actually fought for constitutional carry. I spent over a year of my life personally fighting for that stuff. And we get on the books here finally. I spent another 6 to 8 months of my life fighting for stand your ground laws in the state of Ohio. I've now been spending almost 5 years of my life fighting for two-way sanctuary here, which we're finally, hopefully, going to get to votes here at some point in the summertime. Underneath the Second Amendment Preservation Act thing's what it is there. So, yeah. You want to slander me, dude? You're literally slandering the Second Amendment at that point. You're slandering one of the best two-way activists, advocates, etc. for the fucking thing. So, good job, dipshit. You prove you're a fucking moron. But anyway. I'm trying to think where I was at with that one. Yeah, I kind of lost the thread there, honestly. So, I was going to try and bring it, again, the autism and the fucking, going off on rants, because I'm just pissed is what it is right now. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was Baron just being an idiot, basically. So, that was weird. Why won't this come back up now? Oh, okay, it did it. It was a different thing I was looking at or whatever. Okay, here we go. So anyway, yeah, this fucker was trying to commit terrorism in the name of transgender rights, which again speaks volumes on these people, is what it is, dude. And then said, Gays Against Criminal people said, this Wiley guy openly stated these intentions to murder, assault, and violate kids with animus references to the Nashville shooting by saying, Wiley said, and I quote, a person in Tennessee walked into one of your schools to shoot up a bunch of your Christian daughters. I think one of them was actually a boy, if I'm not mistaken there. So it was like 2 girls and a boy in that one. And then it was 3 adults, because obviously it was the guy who was the janitor who, if he had a gun, he could have stopped the whole thing in his tracks right then and there. And then it was the principal, and I believe it was a teacher, if I'm not mistaken. And then this piece of shit, Jason Wiley, said, we're out here walking into your school, shooting your children, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be one of them, and FBI's going to do nothing to stop me. And then went on the whole thing is what it is, which is ironic, though, because the FBI did actually stop him in this one, dude. Which, again, and that's what I'm saying, I don't believe, like, all feds are corrupt as shit, but there's a lot that are, honestly. I mean, hell, the ones that went from me are, It's like I was telling ShotRed last night after Honda's chat. I was like, yeah, all these fucking guys had to do 5 years ago. Not quite 5 years ago, about 4.5 years ago, give or take right now. It'll be 5 years in this coming August. It'll be. So, but yeah, all they had to do the day I fucking called up Tim's number there that he left in this fucking card in my back door is what it was. He could have just straight up told me. He's been like, yeah, dude, a bunch of Andrew Yang supporters were, trying to inform you to us or whatever the case be because of the video you posted about the guy. And it's like, we know you're probably not a threat, but, the Dayton massacre just happened. And we know it was Sam Antifa piece of shit that did that, obviously. But, we gotta take this kind of shit seriously, whatever the case be. If they had just said, like, straight up be like, people might consider that to be a threat or whatever the case be against some dude. And it's like, you might just want to delete the video, honestly, what it is. If they had just said that shit, honestly, it would have been like, okay, cool. Leave me alone then, kind of thing. And I would have gone back, would have taken that video down, edited that piece out, put it back up is what it is, dude. So, because that was what it really was, honestly. It was just, and for those wondering what actually got me Fed knock is what it was literally comparing Andrew Yang to a future dictator is what it was, basically, in so many words. And I'll leave it at that, basically. And how to stop future dictators is what it was there. So, but anyway. So apparently just naming like a living person is like, I guess, a no-no or whatever the case be then. So, ironically enough, what was kind of funny, though, is what I described in that as a what-if scenario is exactly what our fucking government was doing for years now with rendition flights, where they'll take people up on a flight, literally kidnap somebody, put a black bag over their head, take them on a fucking flight and just torture their asses. What it is then. So it's kind of ironic, right? That the government can do that kind of stuff, but yet God forbid an individual talks about that kind of shit as a what if scenario. It's like, oh no, let me knock on your fucking door and be an asshole piece of shit Fed boy. So yeah, it's a bunch of crap entirely, dude. And then admitting to my face after the whole conversation the next morning that, oh, we wasted 6 days on this. Like, yeah, they fucking told me that to my face, dude. Which it pisses me off that I wasn't filming at the time, because it's ironic that when you start looking at these people that are doing the Let's Go Brandon post all over Facebook right now and getting fucking Fed knocks too, it's almost exactly what they did to me, honestly. It's a fucking federal swatting is what it is, dude. It's legitimately, that's what it is. It's them trying to fuck with people's freedom is what it is. Under the guise of bullshit fucking, you know, jackbooted thuggery is what it is, and fucking name of BS output agency that shouldn't exist in this country, honestly, is what it really is. So, because like I said, for every person like this fucking nut job Wiley guy that they catch, you got like 50 of these fuckers out there just doing stuff is what it is, man. So, but anyway. So to go back to that particular thing there, we're going to go to that Redux article that has to do more with this is what it is. God, that dude is one ugly motherfucker, man, for real. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, you have people, right? Like a Blair White type. Let's go ahead and pull up a picture of Blair White here by the thing there. Yeah, you got people like Blair White there who's, like, obviously done enough to pass as a female. Right, like obviously done stuff that they can actually like physically like pass as potentially biological female or close to it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like close enough, basically, in many of these videos there and like the photos there and stuff like that. And then you got this motherfucking ugly ass dude who like hasn't done jack shit to even try to pass as a fucking female, and then bitches about trans rights and goes and does like all kinds of fucking terroristic shit is what it is, man. Like that's what I'm saying, like. You got the feds knocking on my door in 2019 claiming I'm a fucking threat or threatening President Kennedy or some bullshit like that's what it was, which they fucking admitted to the fact after the fact that I wasn't doing that shit. But then you got this motherfucker, Jason Wiley, who's like clearly a fucking nut job who does not need to be out in our society ever again is what it is, dude. Should have been locked up in a nut house years and years ago from their fucking asshole life is what it is there, man. But yeah, and then this Redux article here, it says, content notice. This article contains direct quotes from federal indictment documents, including themes of child sexual abuse, child sexualization, and child murder. Some may find other elements of the text, such as slurs, disturbing. Reader discretion is appreciated, is what it said there. And that's when they're talking about the trans-identified male doing that stuff and whatnot. I'm not going to read the whole thing here because it's disgusting stuff. What it is, dude. But yeah, it says trans-identified male in Illinois who threatened to commit a school shooting and, you know, do sexual stuff to kids. Pled guilty to one count of interstate commerce with a threat to injure. I'm not even going to fucking placate that bullshit. Jason Lee Wiley, the man right there who claims to be fucking trans, was arrested on August 14th of last year after going on an extended rant listing local children as targets during those rants. All over social media, by the way, is what it was there. So it's previously reported by the site here. It said Wiley was arrested in Perry County, Illinois, after the Springfield area FBI intercepted a live stream on social media they deemed, quote, suspicious. And this is what I'm saying, by the way. I want to point something out, too, by the way. The only reason that I was even on the FBI's radar in 2019 myself was because I literally tried to stop a sick fucker like this from doing a massacre, dude. It was May of that year. I actually contacted the feds because there was some fucking piece of shit in Texas, supposedly in Texas anyways, but that's what they were claiming they were from, who was a known Antifa motherfucker, self-identifying Antifa and shit like that, talking about doing a fucking massacre there back in 5 years ago is what it was. And that's exactly what I reported back then was some piece of crap like this guy right here, man. And then it was months later, they're like, oh, but this guy contacted us about that thing, but instead of actually being like, okay, cool, he's good, they're like, oh, no, you might do something that could be, like, described as whatever. It's like, fuck all y'all, man, for real. Anyway, continuing on here, it's for this wily asshole. It says in the stream, which is broadcast through networking platform Meet Me. The fuck is that? Never heard of that one. The hell is Meet Me? Chat, meet new people. Meet Me helps you find new people nearby that share your thoughts and interests. I want to chat now. Okay, so basically it's just some rando ass site is what it is then. Like a Snapchat or something like that probably would be my guess. It says an individual later identified as Wiley was seen making a number of disturbing threats towards schools and school children on that site, specifically indicating there were plots in progress. Specifically indicating there were plots in progress to commit a school massacre. So no single institution was named during their rants. There's what it was. So the FBI later determined that Wiley had been issuing the threats from a period of March to August of 2023, making obscene comments about harming kids in the name of, quote, transgender rights. Again, and this sick fucker wonders why people like me have a problem with them, dude. Wonders why people like me call them what they fucking are, which is pedophiles. And why we call fucking school teachers out there doing the same shit to kids now pedophile enablers, dude. That's the entire point, you know. That's another thing too. By the way, I want to point something out on that one that nobody ever really talked about with the when they slandered my ass a couple years ago, was how that whole entire stream I was doing at that time was to literally call out the bullshit going on in our society from these fucking people who are literally grooming kids, man. So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit, man, entirely. I still have yet to get an apology from any of these assholes, by the way, 2 years later. So, not that I really would believe them as an if they did apologize to me at all, for that matter. I basically told them to go fuck themselves anyway on that one. So, but yeah, they put me in a depressive state for like 6 months of my life is what it is there, man. And like, yeah, there were some real bad times. There's what it was. I'm not going to get into it again because I don't like bring up old memories that I like to forget about is what it is then, because, you know, I'm never going to be fully over that shit either, by the way. Like, I'll always carry that grudge against these fuckers now, but, like, I at least know who my enemies are. And, yeah, just because somebody claims to be in the 2A community doesn't mean they actually are good. Hell, they could be secretly Antifa and shit like that for all the fuck I know. So, you know, there is that. But, anyway. Which actually, specifically, Barron seems like he could be that kind of guy, honestly. Like, low-key Antifa BLM is what it is then. So. But anyway, I could give a shit less, though. You guy's a fucking clown. So. Anywho. Sorry, I was trying to do some stuff here is what it is I'm currently in the middle of doing the bingo in the game I play is what it is right now. So if you guys want to see what I'm actually doing right now off camera here. Oh, no, it won't show it actually. Damn it. Yeah, it's doing it again for the weird still frame. I don't understand what streamer are doing that shit where it's not letting me show that. It's just like showing like whatever it captures as like the frame then for the thing. It's really odd. So. But then if I have it on for like, 20 minutes to an hour or something like that, then it'll show it like an hour from now is what it'll be. So, just very, very strange in general, dude. But, anyway, where are we at now? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, going back to this son of a bitch right here, though. So, yeah, they were making random, like, terroristic threats on some social media sites, what it was there. From March to August of last year. In the name of quote-unquote transgender rights. It said in March that Wiley guy was observed on that site by a site user. And then that was when they were talking about going to the schools and killing kids and stuff like that. We're going to be stopped by the feds and we're just going to kill kids is what it was then. So Wiley expressed a desire to carry out a, quote, copycat killing of the horrific shooting at the Covenant School in Nashville, Tennessee. So during the incident, a trans-identified female left 6 dead, 3 of whom were school children, all age 9. An act of brutality that left the nation stunned, and then, of course, led to pieces of shit like Justin Jones, that fucking BLM, fucking black supremacist piece of shit, coming out of there and actually having, like, so honestly, I don't understand how the fuck Justin Jones is even in the Tennessee Journal at this point, dude, because the guy is a BLM terrorist. He legitimately, during the fucking riots of 2020, before he became a state lawmaker, was pulling people out of their vehicles in downtown Nashville, Tennessee to beat the fuck out of them, dude. Like, how the hell is that dude not being charged with a whole bunch of fucking federal felonies at this point for that shit, or at least state felonies anyway, for that matter, for assault and battery and shit? And then that fucking piece of shit scumbag had the audacity to literally carry in a small casket as a fucking grandstanding bunch of bullshit there in Tennessee's General Assembly, dude. And it's like, right then and there, they should have slapped the fucking taste out of his mouth and been like, fuck you, cunt. Get the fuck out of here. You're no longer you're no longer part of this General Assembly, asshole. And you're never allowed to run for office ever again, fucker, because we're charging you with deprivation of law, douchebag. We're trying to steal people's gun rights here in Tennessee, you fucking asshole. But of course, they didn't do that because the fucking Republican Party, there was a bunch of fucking spineless ass rhinos, is what it is in most cases. Like that's what I'm saying, dude. Like honestly, this is again like why like Justin Jones is one of the exact reasons, just like Casey Weinstein here in Ohio and Alison Russo and shit like that here in Ohio, that are corrupt as fuck. And the rest of the Democrat parties too, for that matter, in the state of Ohio right now. This is exactly why American citizens should be able to fight lawmakers, is what it is. Legitimately 5 times in our life, not 10 times for that matter. Where we just get like a free fucking, like, it's basically a card we can come up with. And it just says, I demand to fight this person. And it's just like, I'm cashing the card in, bitch. So. And we're allowed to legally fight this person or whatever the case be. If we win, we just take their sheet of power, is what it is then. So. It would be one way to deal with a lot of Congress, too, for that matter, right now. All these old fucks is what it is, dude, because you can't have proxies and shit. So, yeah, you just simply, like, have some person, like, fight Pelosi and shit like that for a seat, or Maxine Waters or something like that, or Chuck Schumer, or whoever else it is there. It'd be, like, kind of like Celebrity Deathmatch, but minus the actual, you know, brutality is what it is there, so. 11, so be 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. All right. But yeah, so it would be interesting actually to see that happen though. If it actually did. I don't think it ever will, unfortunately, but it should. Because it would make for some entertaining shit, honestly, happen in this country, bro. If people were just fighting politicians like that. Like, I'm cashing it in, man. It's kind of like that. It's like almost be like a Money in the Bank briefcase or something like that for WWE and shit. Which is like, I'm cashing in the case. I'm fighting Pelosi or something like that. Or I'm fighting Schumer. Or I'm fighting some state lawmaker, whatever the case be is. So. Although, you know, a bunch of leftists are trying to fight the right-wing people and stuff like that in General Assemblies and probably just get knocked the fuck out immediately. Like, that would be even funnier, honestly. Like, I would actually, like, that, because I don't know if you guys remember that from, like, I think it was the larger channel at one point I did it, like, I think it was last year or so. We were talking about that story of State Rep Scott Wiggum here, who's a Republican in the General Assembly. He's also pro-gun as fuck is what it is. He was also one of the few military vets in our General Assembly, too, for that matter, that actually gives a shit about Second Amendment. And I think he was an actual combat vet in, I forget if it was Desert Storm or Desert Shield or one of those ones like that is what it was in that time period of history. But anyway, it was funny because he, like, basically checked some dude who tried to walk backwards into him and shit like that outside the State House there is what it was. And the guy was, like, trying to basically get him fired from his job is what it was as a state lawmaker. And he's like, nah, bitch. And then they basically arrested that guy instead is what it was, which was pretty funny, actually. And that dude was like 100% like BLM Antifa type, so it was too for that matter. And what was really funny about that is it's like that's what I would assume would happen in like an actual fight if somebody like some like left wing person tried to fight Wiggum for his seat. If that'd be the case, he would just beat the shit out of him. Is what it'd be then. So anyway, but yeah, it's good times, man. Good times ahead. Well, it took 2 for that one. So anyway, but yeah, no, for real though. It's a bunch of shit, man. You have a bunch of people who are just a bunch of scumbags in this country who don't give a shit about this nation, who just want to fuck it up. That's what it is. And people like Justin Jones, fucking all these other Tennessee 3 assholes like that, or this fucker here in Illinois, you know. And that's the other thing too, by the way. It was like them trying to do like a copycat killing, basically. And what the ironic thing about that is, though, is that when you start looking into this shit and you realize that this is exactly what was happening back in the day when it came to serial killers in this country, where you had a bunch of people that were all nutso in the head and shit. And it was them at the time who were having the mainstream media, talk about these killings all the time, is what it was, and all these massacres going on all the time or whatever, that led to other massacres. It's the exact same shit nowadays, what it is, dude. Like, instead of it being like, the Green River Killer being like some hillside strangler, whatever the case be, copycat, it's literally fucking, some mass shooter, dude. And it's like, oh yeah, hey everybody, like, it's literally mainstream media being like, hey everybody, like, here's the gun you gotta use, here's the fucking bullets you gotta use in that gun, here's the fucking, what you gotta say to get this shit done, kind of thing. And then they wonder why they create other massacres in the future, is what it is, dude. And again, this is exactly why I fight for the Second Amendment every day of my life, is what it is right now, dude, because I'm sick and tired of these fuckers trying to destroy not only my gun rights, but everybody else's gun rights for the matter too, honestly. So I'm just fucking fed up with all of it, dude, for real. Like, seriously, I've personally done more at state level in the last 5 years of my life than most people have done ever outside of our founding fathers to protect the Second Amendment rights of this country, honestly. So it would be nice to get like a pat on the back once in a while, honestly, truthfully speaking, dude, with the amount of shit I've done to help out, with help getting Ohio constitutional carry and everything else like that. But yeah, don't even get that recognition is what it is, dude. Have other people take my fucking credit for me is what it is then. Like Chris Dorr, Hot Gunners there is what it is. Which I'm not saying they weren't part of that, obviously, too, but like, they act as if they were the only ones doing anything. There's what it was. And it's like, nah, bitch. Like, I was over here doing a whole bunch of shit solo before the network even existed, is what it was. And then contacting other people to help me out. And then obviously that's when I founded Ohio Patriot Education Network, was the day that we had constitutional carry enacted in the state of Ohio. Then on June 13, 2022 is what it was then. So, which, by the way, will be our second anniversary here in 2 months. So that'll be fun. Good times ahead. Yay. So anyway, where's that now? Sorry, trying to do some stuff here again. But no, seriously though, it's a bunch of shit, dude. Like, it would be nice to just get like a little bit of credit where credit is due right now, But yeah, don't even get that, is what it is, bro. But yeah, like I said, I am actually, like, on the whole topic though, I am legitimately concerned for John's health at this point, because I know he has the whole, he's blind because he had the brain tumor shit, is what it is there. And I know he gets like real depressed around this. I think it was like a couple months ago is when his surgery dates were and stuff like that years ago. I know he got like real depressed around that time period. So I'm hoping he's okay right now, legitimately. So, and like, I still think about the guy in a positive light, honestly, for the most part, even though he was a dick to me the last time we spoke on Honda's chat that one time. So, but anyway. So I try to be the bigger man in these kind of things. Let's see, where are we at now? Okay. Let's see. This Wiley guy was saying, okay, so it was them talking about carrying a copycat killing in Nashville. And then they're saying the thing about Hale's ass. Yeah, that Jason Wiley guy said this is not the last of them. If you don't shut your fucking mouth to people out there in society, is what it was. The general public is what it was then, or whatever. And that was weeks after Nashville shooting took place. Jason Wiley was also quoted as saying, quote, "There's a lot of transgenders out here that are tired of being picked on, and we're going to go into schools and do the same shit," basically what they're saying. We're going to go to war. Which is kind of funny, right? Because, and I called this out the other day, if you pay attention to what I talk about there on the on our X page is what it is, dude, and I tend to post a lot of stuff on there is what it is. I actually called this shit out the other day because there's that porn star, or ex-porn star named River Stark is what it was, that was pretty trans nutty is what it was there and stuff, who about a year or so ago, or not, yeah, it was over a year ago now, I'm thinking about it. It was right before Nashville last year. So it would have been like, I think, February 2023, maybe. And it was one of the last posts that they have on their Twitter account /X page. There's what it is. And it's basically them more or less doing veiled threats against people at that point, dude, because they were talking about like, oh yeah, if you're transgender, like I am too, and I actually have military experience kind of stuff out there is what they were claiming. And then they were like, if you want to protect yourself against essentially the general public is what they were saying, more or less, like come DM me in Washington State there and I'll teach you how to fucking shoot kind of thing is what it was. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I even called out Musk on that one. I'm like, dude, how the fuck does this page still exist right now? Like, this dude's like clearly like openly threatening people on here, man, from like a year ago. And again, it's like that's what I'm saying, dude. Like what I said in passing almost 5 years ago now, like as an off the cuff remark / what if scenario and stuff, dude, was way less than what all these fucking psycho leftists are saying right now, dude, is what it is. Like, where the hell are their fucking Fed knocks, you know? Oh, yeah, that's right. They don't get them because the fucking feds are cool with them going out there and doing this shit, dude, because they fucking facilitate this stuff. Because, again, it's all fucking government tying shit together and intertwining shit so they can go and pass their gun control agenda is what it is at the end of the day. It's fucking disgusting is what it is, bro. Seriously. So... yeah, and actually, speaking of people who can't pass as actual opposite sex there, then you got, I think this person's name was like Riley Dennis or Dennis Riley, something like that. I know they were real famous, and this was when Blair White got fame, actually, because they were always calling out this piece of shit right here is what it is. Yeah, you got that piece of crap going overseas there. And injuring female athletes. They were also among 5 males that were on Australia's women's soccer team at the time. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. But anyway, going back to the rest of this article, though, it was talking about that Jason Wiley asshole. It said, after another expletive-filled monologue by Wiley also claimed that they actually self-admitted being a pedophile. Then that's what it was. With Wiley's intentions to, quote, sexually assault young girls. What a sick fucking piece of shit, dude. Again, why the fuck is this asshole still alive, bro? Like, for real? Like, why is Jason Wiley still alive right now, dude? Like, whatever happened to the Brazen Bowl, man? Whatever happened to Blood Eagles and shit like that? Whatever happened to the fucking boats, for God's sakes, man? Like, let's bring back fucking old school ass methods that worked, you know, throughout history. And take these pieces of shit out once and for all, man, for real. Take the trash out of our fucking society, man, and make our society better overall then. Like, don't give this fucker 3 hots and a cot in the Illinois State Prison System, dude. Like, fucking take him out right now is what it is, man. So, yeah, just a bunch of sick, disgusting stuff. And I'm not going to read some of this, obviously, because it's just... ugh, God, that's so fucking disgusting. The direct quoting about what they would do to young girls is what it is. What a sick piece of shit, man. And then that was the, this is the quote that Gays Against Groomers were talking about with that Jason Wiley piece of shit right there. Dude, I'll tell you what. I don't know if you guys ever saw the, that show Mare at Kingstown, like the first season of it, I believe is what it was. Where you had, there was a episode in it where it was basically this dude was cooking meth in like a trailer park or something is what it was there. And he ended up exploding the trailer with that small child in it. They killed the kid because of that is what it was. And he was basically sent into the prison systems there where that fictional town there in Michigan existed or whatever. And you essentially had the entire prison put a hit on his ass where it was like, you had him being sent from like one minority group to the next minority group to a bunch of white people at the end is what it was or whatever. And it was like people were stabbing him in one set of group. And other people were just like beating him with fucking batteries filled with socks and shit. And it was like just another set of stabbings and so forth and so on. The guy's like all fucked up, like essentially like limping away, like bleeding, obviously. And eventually it's like crawling away bleeding is what it was until he died eventually. And Like, truthfully, that's the kind of fucking prison yard shit that needs to happen to these pieces of shit like Jason Wiley is what it is, dude, for real. Like, the dude just needs to meet, like, a very fucking painful end very fucking quickly. So... All right, let's see where we're at now. Sorry, I was trying to read through some of this to not directly quote this sick son of a bitch and the sick, disgusting stuff that Jason Wiley said. Here's what it is. Let's see. Yeah, so this Wiley guy seemed amused by the reaction of another Meet Me user who expressed outrage at his disgusting remarks. So during one of the sessions, Wiley was confronted by a woman who spoke with an accent and appeared to be of African descent. In response, Wiley threatened to go to Uganda and kill people in that government. It said seemingly in retaliation for nation's Anti-Homosexuality Act of 2023. So the act imposed harsh penalties for those accused of same-sex sexual assault on children or the vulnerable. So essentially stopping people from being raped by sick pedophiles, essentially what that Uganda act was there. This dude was talking about going overseas to, like, off people. It's like, again, why are they still, like, seriously, we have a federal death penalty, people. Why is this fucker not brought up on federal charges at this point and given that thing? Like, for God's sakes, man, fucking hell. Like, honestly, the more I read about this fucking piece of crap, like, the worse this shit gets, man. And then you got this stuff right here. Female inmate sexually assaulted by violent trans-identified male at Washington women's prison. So you got a dude in the fucking female prison system there in Washington State that raped a woman is what it was, dude. Fucking ridiculous is what it is, dude, for real. Anyway, continuing on here, it said, during another conversation on that Meet Me site, Jason Wiley slammed Christianity and used racial slurs against African Americans. A woman told Wiley that if she saw him in a church, she would not want to hurt him and would want to hug him in an apparent act to extend empathy to the man. The guy doesn't need empathy. He needs to put the fuck down, honestly, is what it is, dude. Just let the rest of these fucking child molesters do at this point, honestly, man. Like, the guy is clearly fucked. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, and I've talked about before, dude. Like, there are certain people worth giving a second chance to. There are certain people worth saving. This Jason Wiley asshole is not one of them, bro. Like, there's at some point you just need to bury people underneath the fucking jail at this point. And that's fucking one of these people is what it is right now, dude, for real. So, anyway. So Wiley was quoted as saying to her about basically killing these people and blowing up churches and stuff like that is what it was there. It said, this was one of the direct quotes here. It says, K, in or about March to August 2023, defendant Jason Wiley was saying they're trash, they're Christian trash, they're transphobic, homophobic, no different than the fucking white supremacists. This is exactly who the fuck they are. So, and then they quoted as Dave Chappelle and said Dave Chappelle and all blacks out here are talking shit about trannies and shit. Ain't no different than white supremacists either. So you all bow to the same cross. And then it said extended middle fingers. So that was obviously them doing that in the thing. And it says a woman on screen said that if she saw a defendant in a church, they would hug him and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just fucking sickening, dude, is what it is. So if Jason Wiley was initially been arrested in August by Perry County law enforcement, he was released less than 48 hours after being detained on a $0 bond. Again, why would you let this motherfucker out ever, dude? Like, this is the problem with these leftist ass run states and shit, dude. So speaking to Redux October 2023, Perry County Sheriff Chad Howard explained that local prosecutors had a difficult time laying charges against this piece of crap. No, they fucking, like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? The guy did more than enough to fucking have it be Hell, Jesus fucking Christ, man. No, he did not, bro. Like, Wiley legitimately said enough shit that he should have not even been brought up on local charges. He should have been fucking sent to the feds at that point. It should have been fucking FBI, ATF, DEA, all these motherfuckers. Like, I'm not talking about DEA per se, but like, yeah, everybody else basically, all the other alphabet boys out there, man, should have been like descending on this fucker's house, fucking full SWAT team style, fucking barrel of a gun in this dude's head, basically, and arresting his ass at that point, dude. On fucking federal death penalty charges at that point, then. For the crap he was trying to pull there. So. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. So that Wiley was initially charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. That's like misdemeanors to like low-level felonies, dude. What the fuck? Good God. So Sheriff Howard said charges related to the threats against schools were dropped due to lack of specific targets. How the fuck? Dude. Seriously. There is a charge called terroristic threats, dude. How the fuck does that not go in that thing right there? It doesn't matter if the guy didn't say they were going to go do X, Y, and Z school. If they were talking about a general target or whatever the case be, dude, who gives a shit? Like, they're still making terroristic threats, for God's sake. That's a fucking federal felony charge at that point, bro. Like, good God, man. By the way, you get the same charges at a state level that are also fucking felonies in every single state in this country, as far as I'm aware. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Insane, bro. Insane. Anyway, quote, it's like, quote, because there was no one individual person or individual school directly threatened. Disorderly conduct did not stick. It was not capable of being filed, said the Sheriff Howard, who also noted that he anticipated that the remaining resisting arrest charge would result in a simple fine. Says, quote, it's more or less going to end up going to the hearing, to be a hearing, now with the state of Illinois having the, quote, Safety Act, which went into effect September 18, 2023, so these types of crimes are no longer containable. You can bring a suspect in for booking, processing, and biometrics, and then you release them with a court date, and it is all handled by the courts from there on out. So basically, he's talking about the Purge Act, what he's actually talking about there is what it is. So at the time, Sheriff Howard was unaware of an additional action pending against Wiley, which made his November federal indictment come as a surprise to local law enforcement. Okay, so at least there was this. And like I said, I think what happened there was, so they released this asshole in September then, and then the November federal indictment was probably terroristic threats, is my guess, honestly, dude. Or very similar to that, if that be the case then. Yeah, here it says Wiley was initially charged with 14 felony counts of interstate communication of a threat to injure, which how is it not terroristic threats at that point, dude? But the new plea deal, but the new plea agreement filed March 20th reveals prosecutors agreed to drop 13 of the counts in exchange for a guilty plea on one. Fuck that. No. You fucking charge this cocksucker with all 14, dude, and you put them away fucking forever is what it is. So what that really means, honestly, is this guy's probably going to do like 3 to 5 years in a federal prison system and then get right back out of fucking jail is what it is, dude. And probably go shoot up a school after that's my guess, honestly, with an illegal gun, for that matter. A gun that they either got by stealing it or a gun that they obtained through some other means, if that be the case then. That was all illegal because they would be a felon in possession of a firearm then. In the state of Illinois is what it would be. Dude, I'll tell you what, if I was a gunner in Illinois right now, I would be literally counting the days until this asshole got out of prison and then, like, making sure to, you know, deal with any threat after that is what it is, man, for real. So, just fucking disgusting is what it is, dude. Yeah, this is interstate communication of a threat to injure. Says imprisonment. Yeah, there you go. 5 years imprisonment, $250,000 fine, supervised release, 3 years, special assignment, $100. Says defendant knowingly transmitted a communication, and 2, communication contained a true threat to injure any person, and 3, defendant transmitted a communication for the purpose of making a threat of knowing the communication would be viewed as a threat, and the communication was transmitted in interstate commerce. How is that not life imprisonment by default right there, dude? How is it a fucking 5-year imprisonment charge? So honestly, that means good behavior. This fucker's out in probably 2.5 years is my guess, truthfully speaking right now. So like 2026, 2027, man, prepare for a fucking massacre by some nut named Jason Wiley is what it is then. So anyway, it said, well, sentencing memorandums have not yet been submitted by the prosecution or defense. The plea agreement reveals that there has already been disagreements between the two sides on whether Wiley will be eligible for any offense level reductions, something that will impact how much time they get behind bars. Again, give them the fucking death penalty at the federal level, assholes. So his documents also reveal that Jason Wiley does not have a criminal record, reveals they do have a criminal history, which includes convictions for domestic assault and assault of a cop in 2008. Yeah, shocker, bro. Shocker that this motherfucker right here is clearly a fucking threat to society. Fucking hell, man. Wiley was referred to by she, her pronouns in the court records. What a fucking joke, man. Okay, so you know what that means then? So they're probably going to be sent to a federal women's prison. I'm sure there's going to be a rape going on there is what it is, man. So one can only, and I hate to say that, honestly, but the one thing I will say, though, is one can only hope that this dude does try to rape somebody inside the prison system and just gets more time added onto their fucking bid if that be the case then. Like, honestly, if they do get sent to a female prison, though, dude, ladies, a bar of soap and a sock do wonders. Like, seriously, man. So, yeah, and then you got a bunch of other stuff here relating to this article at the bottom there. It said, you got this one here. It was trans activist drag queen standing trial for 2019 grooming sexual abuse of a minor. We got Spain, men charged with violence against women using transgender law to change legal sex, access shelters where their victims are housed. Then we got transgender domestic terrorist sues Federal Bureau of Prisons for transfer to women's prison, citing sexual harassment by men. Again, how hard is it to just murk these people out and be done with it, bro? For real. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. I really have had it with these fucking people, man. Let's go ahead and read some of the comments on this piece of shit Wiley from the Gays Against Groomer post there on X. This Christopher guy said, tell me there's no connection with mental health of these people. Another person who's a woman there said, women wouldn't do this, only males. That's not true. That's not true at all, lady. You are fucking lying to yourself because there is a lot of female pedophiles out there. I also want to point something out, too, for that matter, is that the fucking transgender shooter in Nashville was a biological female pretending to be a man. So, yeah, your fucking bullshit is out of the court there, lady. You're wrong already is what it is. So... See, this person said, so many people just like that Wiley guy walking around having access to kids in our school systems and healthcare systems. This is bone chilling to say the least. This rejected demon person said, looks like they fucked around, found out, and the new pronouns will be inmate. Yeah, for at least 5 years anyway, or pretty close to it if that be the case. And we got trans day visibility. Creep. Yes, I'm trans. Yeah, it's talking about Jason Wiley being a creep. And they said, them saying, yes, I'm trans. Let me get the little girls what it is there. So, yeah. And that's the thing. That's what they all want, dude. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a reason why these sick fuckers, man, are pretending to be women and going into women's bathrooms. I mean, hell, looking back at Target, for God's sakes, dude. Where you had Target do their bathroom policy thing like a year or two ago, whatever it was now. Or no, sorry, it was longer than that. It was like, what was it, 20... Was it 19 or was it 18 or 17? I'm thinking now. it's been a long time now. I'm thinking about it. It's been at least 6-7 years anyway. But I remember when that happened though. And immediately after that, you had a bunch of obvious dudes who were pedophiles trying to walk into women's bathrooms with young girls and shit like that. Dude, just do like upskirt pics and shit like that is what it was there. And like creep on these children and stuff, dude. Like there are seriously deranged individuals out here in society, bro. And you just never see the light of day ever again is what it is, man. So, like I've said before, I'll say it again, man. This is why we need one strike laws for fucking pedophiles. Where it's literally one strike, bang. End of fucking story, dude. And as the Scott guy says, I think he was talking about the 80s, the community would help that Jason Wiley guy find a riverbed. Yeah, exactly. I mean, hell, if this, like, seriously, if we were back like 50 to 60 years ago, bro, you would have fucking mafia find that dude when he was out there for a couple weeks or whatever. They would have given him some fucking cement shoes and tossed his ass off a fucking bridge then into the river. So, and it'd be like, yeah, this motherfucker's sleeping with the fishes now, kind of shit. See? That's my best mobster voice is what it is. So, anyway. Yeah, see, person going by Blue Cat said the problem is that most people don't use X and will never figure out. They are still with the idea of radicals or people like Elon or that chick that's little TikTok is what it is there. Yeah, just sad and disgusting, dude. Yeah, and this beauty of whatever that is said, these people show every day why they should never be around kids. They are the first ones to talk about caring for kids, but their actions speak for them, and it ain't love at all. Well, and that's the thing, right? And it's the same. It's these same individuals, these same sick fuckers like that guy, who are the ones pushing all this shit. Like, seriously, there's a reason why you have these school systems now that lives at TikTok exposes all the time, where they'll have a fucking trans pride flag in one part of the classroom and then a fucking BLM flag right next to it is what it is, dude. And then it's like right next to those is like one of the LGBTQ flags or whatever the case be, like one of the original like gay pride flags or whatever then. And yeah, it's them. They're literally trying to indoctrinate little kids, man, into their sick, disgusting, pedophilic behavior is what it is, man. Actually, this is actually, of all the people in the comment, I gotta laugh at this one because all the people in the comment section there, like this meme is spot on right there. I forget what that guy's name was back in the day, but he's like, hide your kids, hide your wife, because they're coming after everybody. So, exactly. And this Jack guy said Wiley would find out what could be done to him very soon. I fucking hope so, dude, honestly. Like, that's the best thing that happened to that dude, honestly, at this point, dude. Yeah, and then this person said, send Wiley to a male prison so he can earn his PhD. Yeah, exactly. So, I doubt they will, honestly, dude. Given the fact they're referring to the piece of shit by female pronouns and stuff, and it's fucking in Illinois that happened and stuff, dude, they'll probably send him to a fucking female prison, honestly. Like I said, if I find out like a year or two down the road from now is what it is, that it's like, oh, Illinois federal prison system inmate rapes woman, and it's a picture of that fucking Jason Wiley guy again, I wouldn't be surprised by it, dude. Like, that's the problem entirely with these fucking people, man. And then, of course, you got this fucking set of jerk-offs right here, which is the COS shooter identified as non-binary. This is the guy that did the that club shooting there in Colorado. Then we got Denver shooter identified as trans. I think this one was I can't remember if that was I'm trying to remember if that particular one was at that school shooting in Highlands Ranch, or if that was a different one then. Then we got Aberdeen shooter identifies trans, Nashville shooter identifies trans, Philadelphia shooter identifies crossdresser, and this Perry shooter, this is the one that had the shotgun in their high school is what it was, identifies transgender as well in that one. So, and this is the one that killed, I think, was a principal, and then like I think they injured like one of their kid pretty badly. I don't know if that kid died or not, if I'm not mistaken, but I know they at least killed some. They at least shot and severely wounded. I think it was the principal or like vice principal, whatever it was there, and that person ended up dying later of their injuries in the hospital. And then I want to say that they like critically wounded somebody else that maybe lived through that, if I'm not mistaken, because they got the surgery before they passed or whatever. Then, and they were able to be revived. Essentially, is what it was. So. And that's the thing. Like, there's so many others out there too, man. I mean, hell, you could honestly, truthfully add the guy that did the fucking Dayton massacre 5 years ago to that whole list, dude, because their sister that they killed identifies as a trans man. You know? And they were obviously Antifa, too, for that matter. By self-admission, they were Antifa / BLM. So, yeah, people were just putting up wood chipper memes saying problem solved. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you got the Peter Griffin shotgun meme saying I just want to talk to him. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Somebody made up a guillotine meme here is what it was. Yeah, it's just fucking insanity is what it is, dude. And I actually agree with what this guy's sign said here in this post, which was, if pedophilia is just sexuality, then burying them is just gardening. Yeah, pretty much, honestly. So, yeah, it's just like, I don't know, man. Speaking of child molesters, though, in this whole thing, you got, going back to the X page there, it says, thank women. And we got two different things here. It says, how women voters decided 2020 election. And then it was this piece of crap right here saying, transgender, quote unquote, woman 18 rapes girl 10 in female toilets and Morrison's. Says Katie something or other previously admitted grabbing the victim by her face and forcing her into the cubicle. I'm not sure if that's overseas or not there. There was another one of these too, by the way. It was in California some years ago where the motherfucker was a 17-year-old guy at the time. Like, I think it was, when I say 17, I mean like literally like days before his 18th birthday. I think it was like 2 days before his 18th birthday or something like that. And that piece of shit DA, George Gascon, which, mind you, this was years after that. The guy was like 25, 26 here recently or whatever in like the last couple of years or something. And that piece of shit Gascon tried to charge this motherfucker as a juvenile for molesting a young girl is what it was, dude. And it's like, no, this motherfucker was literally like 2 days before his 18th birthday. Fuck that guy. Again, to the fucking wall, motherfucker. So, this one is actually probably fairly accurate. So, you know. And again, it makes sense when you have these people that, you know, are trying to groom children is what it is, man. That they're literally trying to, you know, force this shit on kids is what it is, dude. Because again, when you can fuck with kids' heads and stuff like that at a young age and make it so that it seems like it's okay, so that they can then molest them later on and stuff like that. Like, that's what their end game is at the end of the day, dude. And this is what I talked about a couple years ago, and these guys slandered my ass is what it was for being so-called racist and shit. Because I simply said something about what was going on in this country at the time, and it fucking rings true to this day, by the way. So, wow. Then we got this fucking insanity coming up right now, which is legit TikTok 40 minutes ago saying DOJ is demanding prison time for the person that discovered Ashley Biden's diary. So here's a reminder of what Ashley Biden wrote, saying that her dad was a fucking child molester and stuff. Who molest her in the fucking bathroom and shit when she was taking showers. So. Okay, I'm not even going to lie. This looks bad fucking ass, man. So this is a Toyota Tundra, apparently. I don't know if you guys remember, like, I think it was a year or two ago when I talked about this. It was at least a year or two ago when I talked about this, where I was discussing about those Club K rocket things that they have in China that are sent over here, and they're like shipping containers and stuff like that, where you can literally have them on the back of a fucking tractor trailer or whatever, and they can literally just like pop up and start shooting and stuff like that. This is actually very similar to what this Toyota Tundra is doing right now in this video here. So you got the Tundra there. It's got like some stuff on the back of it there. And it just pops up fucking rocket propelled grenades is what it is there, dude. And shoots off a bunch of them then. That's exactly what those Club K things do from China. And you think about that, right? Like you're just sitting there being a truck driver or whatever in this country, and all of a sudden you look back in your fucking side mirror or whatever the case be, you just see this thing like coming up out of nowhere that you thought was a super container just like popping up and stuff like that with a bunch of rockets in it. And it's just like shooting them off basically. And then it's like boom, 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 a bunch of fucking targets get hit then. And I could easily see something like that happening come Monday, honestly, for that solar eclipse deal is what it is, dude. Where it's like during the blackout or whatever, it like has China just has it fucking popped off, and if that be the case then. So wow. By the way, speaking of people that need to be murked the fuck out at this point, dude, we go to the fucking piece of shit right here from Venezuela who got arrested here recently in Ohio. This is from that Colin Rugg guy. He said, Justin, illegal alien who tells other illegals how to squat in U.S. homes is facing potential federal gun charges. According to New York Post, internal federal documents say ICE is considering federal charges against Laniel Marino. Said in one of the Instagram posts, Marino is touring around a gun store, checking out guns. He mentions multiple times that only us Americans can get guns. Says last week he was arrested for not following the rules in the Alternatives to Detention program, and says he failed to appear at multiple required check-ins. Says the illegal alien is also allegedly under investigation for using his young daughter as a prop. Yeah, to basically get money is what it was, dude. Like, seriously, why is this fucking dude still alive, dude? Like, this dude is a fucking terroristic threat to our livelihood at this point in this country, man, for real. So, I really wish the cops hadn't taken that fucker alive in my state, man. I really wish they would have been like, oops, he died in fucking custody. Oops, he tried, oh, here's a fucking knife that we just threw at his ass. Oh, he tried to pull a knife on us. Bang, bang, like 17 times or whatever. Or hell, be the fucking Akron cops where it's just like, dude fucking, they're like, oh, he's reaching for his waistband. And just lay his ass up like 10 different times from different directions what it is there, man. Like they did with that one asshole. So. But yeah. This is pretty much spot on right here. Only hope to save America. Mass deportation, just a kick in the ass out of our fucking country is what it is, dude. It's not only going to need to be that, though. It's going to need to be legitimately fucking, like, gunpoint kicking their ass out at that point, dude, with fucking military and law enforcement, etc. there, pointing fucking guns at these people to get the fuck out of our country at gunpoint then. And being like, you try anything, you're going to get capped, motherfucker. So, it's like, get on that plane, bitch, back to your home country of origin. Yeah, and then this Paul guy said in the comment section here about that expecting illegals to follow rules for their detention is ridiculous by default. They can't be trusted. They've broken the United States of America. Says if they break one law, they'll break all of them. That Marino guy is proof of that. This is why remains in Mexico needs to be reinstated immediately. Yeah, I would just say, honestly, like, if nothing else, and I've said it before, but I'll say it again, like, all immigration across the board right now needs to be default null and void at this point, bro. 100 fucking year moratorium. No legal immigration, no illegal immigration. Everybody can fuck off at that point. Because even right now, you have fucking people that are literally Chilean gangs of robbers exploiting our visa system because there's a certain kind of visa you can get right now in the U.S. It's like a 90-day tourist visa or whatever the case be. That these fuckers are getting just to come into our nation, go to middle class to high end neighborhoods and break into rich people's houses and steal their shit, dude, is what it is. And then fly back to their own country is what it is. All the stolen goods is what it is there, man. Or the money they make from the stolen goods or whatever it is there. And it's like, why are we allowing this shit, dude? It's like the same exact shit with the H-1B visa programs and stuff, man. And everything else for that matter. It's like the H programs and stuff. Because all they are, legitimately, especially the H-1B visa ones is what it is there. It's a way to mass import a servant/serf class of people from India with questionable ass degrees in the tech industry and then put them in a fucking low-level tech industry job and stuff like that Americans should be getting, by the way. And instead, you got all these fucking foreign nationals taking these jobs who have quote-unquote degrees that aren't even worth the paper that to wipe your ass with is what it is, dude, that they're written on. And yet we're allowing them to stay in our country right now. It's like, why? It's fucking stupid, bro. It's like, no, we don't need you here. We don't want you here. Because all they're doing is creating a fucking caste system is what it is, dude. And this has been proven for years now. That even the Indian guys at the top admit this shit. That are like the high-end bosses and stuff. They'll fucking trip admit to your face. They'll be like, oh yeah, bro, like, we bring these people in here to fuck you as an American out of this job so that we can then turn around and have these people as an underclass, pay them fucking shit wages, and if they complain about that, we can just deport their asses back to fucking India and bring a whole new batch here is what it is in their place. Like, I'm just so fucking disgusted by it, bro. Like, it doesn't need to be a thing ever, and it's been exploited for decades now by both political parties, dude, both Republicans and Democrats, because they've always wanted cheap labor is what it is here, man. Instead of actually giving a shit about Americans, what it should have been is decades ago, there should have been laws on the fucking books back then that incentivized Americans to have a bunch of kids again, bro. And there wasn't. And that's the biggest problem right now. And that's exactly why we need a 1,000-year moratorium in this country. Because it needs to be legitimately, you know, well, I would say at least 100 years anyway. Like, we started out 100 years and ended up with like 1,000 years, what it is then. But yeah, it's like 100 years, no fucking immigration at all in this country. Let Americans who are already here do what we need to fucking do to bring back ourselves as a nation where we have, you know, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 kids per family. And then we legitimately have like a new breed of American that actually gives a shit about our country, gives a shit about the Constitution, gives a shit about our, actually has patriotism in our nation again is what it is, man. Not these little fucking asswipes at places like the Louisiana University, LSU there, that were walking off the fucking court during the national anthem the other day, like a bunch of cunts that they fucking are, dude, is what it is. Because that's what they are. They self-entitled fucking cunts is what it is, bro. They don't give a shit about our fucking country. They'll never give a shit about our fucking country because they always want to play victim mentality bullshit is what it is. And I'm fucking sick and tired of all that crap too, man, for that matter. I know for a fact I'm not the only one for that matter either. There's other people out here that are sick and tired of it too, man, and we're just fucking fed up with all of it, man. So, anyway. But yeah, I'm just personally disgusted by so much of it right now. Because again, it's people that don't care. It's the people who are allowing our society to fall when we could be better right now. You know? Like that, and that's the thing, right? Like I'll say it like it is right now, honestly, dude. There's a reason why the black community in our country has not only not had population growth in it for 50-something years now, they've actually declined in population over the years for two reasons. Number one, It's literally black on black crime all the time in this country, where they're shooting and killing each other in the streets and stuff like that. And then number two, they'll sit there and go to abortion clinics and have fucking 8, 10 abortions and stuff like that. And then you wonder why we have like the same percentage of people or less percentage of that population in our society every year is what it is, dude. And it's just sad. Like you're taking out like perfectly good members of society in the future because you just don't want to have a family is what it is. Or it's some bitch, whatever the case be, wants to fuck around. Or it's not even some bitch for that matter. It's because two parties of tango is what it is, bro. It's these fucking loser ass guys in many cases in that community that don't want to step up and be a fucking father of their damn kids is what it is. So they'll just be like, bitch, go get a fucking abortion. Come back to me after that. Or it'll be the same fucking asshole who will knock up like 10 different women from the same fucking hood is what it is there, man. Like, it's just fucking ridiculous what it is, dude. It's like, stop letting fucking ghetto trash nut inside of you people, for real. Like, have better prospects, for God's sakes. So, it's like the other day, my cousins and I were coming back from that place over there in Canton that we get the stuff from on the 50 Cent Fridays, what it is there. And it was like, this was like 1:30 in the afternoon, by the way. And we looked over and there was like all these little kids out by the side of the road there. And I'm just like looking at them like, what the fuck are they waiting for? And I'm not sure if it was supposed to be like a half kindergarten day getting out or what it was there. But yeah, you could tell like a lot of these kids were mixed race kids and stuff like that, dude. And all the women that were there were all white women is what it was. So, and no fathers to be found anywhere is what it was, man. So, it's like a bunch of single mother households probably in the welfare system, I guess, honestly, in the state. And it's funny because my cousins and I were actually having a conversation about that too after the fact, and they were saying about like, yeah, it's weird how you have these kids in like different age brackets and stuff. And I'm like, it's actually not when you look into it, because again, it's a way for these people to cheat the system is what it is. Because what they'll do is, it's every I think 2 to 3 years in the state of Ohio, you either have to have another child or be kicked out the welfare system is what it is. So what'll happen is you'll have this kid that starts out, like the woman will start out with like one or whatever the case be from like one guy, and maybe it's the same guy as the father of like a bunch of them or whatever. Usually it's not. Usually it's like 2 or 3 guys or so that are, each one of them has one of these kids or whatever the case be, and whether it be 3 kids they have or whether it be, 5, 6 they have, and it's all different fathers and stuff like that too. And what'll end up happening is you will have these women realize like, okay, I'm about to be cut off. Let me have some other dude, knock me up again or whatever the case be. And it's like, oh, see, I'm pregnant again kind of thing, which I'm sorry, but like, how is that not an immediate removal from the fucking system too, for that matter, dude? Because you're like obviously getting pregnant to stay on the system is what it is, man. Like, no, stop being a fucking welfare, go get a job, bitch, for real. And if you can't support the kids you already have, then don't have any more, is what it is then. So, especially when you have like 10 different fathers and 10 different kids, man. So, sorry, I was laughing at the meme that was underneath the other thing in that thing where it was Biden talking to the illegal piece of shit, being like, sorry for calling you an illegal, and then sniffing that guy who murdered, ironically enough, Laken Riley, whose post is trending there is what it is. See what's going on with this chick, actually. Let's see, we got fresh off bloodbath hoax. Media has a new one. The animal hoax said Trump called Laken Riley's migrant killer an animal. Media cut Trump off. Media cut Trump out of context to make it look like it was a monster. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. And I got this person say, do you agree Laken Riley would be alive today if Trump was our president instead of Biden? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I would also agree that Laken Riley would be alive today if she was carrying a fucking gun on campus and simply smoked that piece of shit who killed her, man. But she couldn't do that because, shocker, all these universities in Georgia and every other state are fucking gun-free zones, buddy. So yeah, gun-free zones got Laken Riley killed, bro. So, And this guy was just saying people just needed to retweet if they wanted to see Lakin's killer be killed by death penalty from murdering her is what it is. He should already be dead, man, at this point. Like, seriously. Like, the day that they caught this guy, again, it should have been like, it should have honestly been like that clip from Maryland a couple years ago on, I think it was either Easter Sunday or it was Mother's Day. I think it was Mother's Day, where he was like stabbing the woman and stuff like that. And the cop just rocks out, fucking rips his gun out of his holster and shit like that. It's just like, bang, 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 like 14, 50 times, whatever it is. And then realizes there's still one in the chamber. And he's just like, ding. And then proceeds to like drop the first mag and then yanks another one out and pops it in the fucking mag wall and stuff. And he's telling the guy the whole time, he's like, get on the ground, drop the knife, all that shit. Like, while he's on the ground, he's like, drop the knife. And it's like, dude, you just put like 15 to 17 rounds in him. He's not gonna drop the knife because he's dying, you know? But at the same time, it's just like, yeah, it doesn't matter because he's a piece of shit in general. It's like, and again, this is exactly what should happen to that Jose guy, is what it is, dude. Or like that motherfucker, Jason Wiley there is what it is. Or Willie. Yeah, was it Jason Wiley? I keep saying Wiley. I think it was actually Willie. Because it was Willie, right? So, which makes it even more, actually, that's ironically even more fucked up then, because the guy is a child molester with the last name of Willie, then if that be the case, dude. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Yeah, this is apparently what Trump actually said, though, about that piece of crap that killed Laken Riley. Says, let's see, President Trump calls Laken Riley's murder an animal, prompting a meltdown by leftist media. Said, imagine being mad because someone calls a cold-blooded murder an animal. Said, quote, 22-year-old nursing student in Georgia who was barbarically murdered by an illegal alien animal. Said, Democrats said, please don't call them animals. They're humans. Trump said, I said, no, they're not humans. They're not humans. They're animals. Yes, someone who murders someone like an animal should be called an animal. Mm-hmm. And that was in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So, like I said, dude, it's just sad, man. Ironically enough, this person's meme post here is completely true. No one has done more harm to America than Democrats. Well, let's see. What all have the Democrats done over the decades? Well, let's see. They started by creating the Ku Klux Klan back in the day, and then falsely became Republicans were the party that did that, which is a bullshit lie. The whole like party switch crap, which is a complete bunch of BS by the Democrat Party, is what it is there, dude. Then they created BLM decades later, in modern times here, about a decade ago. So same party created two different hate groups, what it is there. They created Antifa. They created, specifically, it was leftist progressives in Nazi Germany that led to Hitler's rise to power. You had, trying to think though, let's talk about American Democrats though again for that matter. So let's see, we had the progressive movement there under, which president was that guy again? I think it was was it Truman or was it somebody else like that? I can't remember offhand. FDR maybe? I think it was one of the Roosevelts maybe or something. But yeah, it was like the progressive bullshit back in the day that led to a bunch of crap. There's what it was. And that dude was trying to court pack and stuff back then. The Supreme Court and whatnot. And they stopped, obviously, Congress lesson at the time stopped them then back in those days. Let's see what else the Democrats done now. Let's see, they've made a border system in the past 3 years that completely destroyed our country entirely. We are literally heading towards a weird-ass version of a civil war in this nation because of these assholes. You have them legitimately allowing mass murderers to walk free all the time. They are condoning child molestation against kids all the time. They are falsely slandering right-wingers with bullshit because we're calling them out on their fucking sick child molestation crap. And yeah, a bunch of other stuff too on that matter, dude. So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit, man. Anyway, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to call it a day on that one because we've been here an hour and a half already. And I got some stuff I got to do. I'm going to make I got to do a couple things here. I'm going to try to stay awake long enough to actually watch this movie is what it is then. So I can actually do the live stream tomorrow about it, or not tomorrow, live stream about 17, 18 hours from now, around 6 o'clock my time here, which would be 6 p.m. today. We'll be doing that Buckshot Thursday live stream about the review of Against All Enemies and discussing what kind of leftist propaganda trash it actually is there. As long as I get a chance to watch the whole thing is what it is, though. If not, it'll be the Freedom Friday stream for the week, as it'll be then. So, but yeah, anyway, I'm going to try to do that right now. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and probably go to sleep after that. That'd be the case then. So, but anyway, it's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun in some cases. In a lot of other cases, it's been crazy shit, honestly. And we're definitely heading towards a fucked up time in this country's history right now. So, yeah. Be prepared for Monday for the apocalypse and stuff like that, because the eclipse could very well become that. Or it could be something like that show, The Leftovers, where it's like certain people get ascended to heaven or whatever the case be, just disappear out of nowhere, and the rest of us are just left behind kind of thing is what it is there. So, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens though, man. So anyway, I'll be prepared. Like I said, I'm going to have a bunch of guns at the ready right now, and everything's going to be loaded in chamber that day, which most of them already are loaded. It's just everything's going to have one in the chamber then it will be. So just in case. But anyway, if nothing actually happens, then I'll just pop off a couple rounds of 22 in the backyard or something, probably then at a Target or something. Just for shits and gigs is what it is. So anyway, because I do love my Taurus with the 20 round mega extensions now in it, which actually is 21 rounds technically speaking. But one thing I do need to get for that gun though, for those mags actually, is one of those little 22 for it there to use, because I'll tell you what, man, getting those last couple rounds in there, like everything up to 16 is okay to do in those 21 round mega extensions, but like around, like I would say, like, well, actually even the 17th rounds, like not too hard to get in there, but it's like 18, 19, 20, and especially 21, like, oh my god, bro, my fingers are just like hurting so badly. So it may end up being that they just become 20 rounders at some point then, and just saying fuck it after that then. So anyway, but yeah, other than that, that's where I'm at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We are definitely living in a freak show when it comes to a lot of America nowadays is what it is. And it's time to stop putting up with it, man. And it's time to start reintroducing things like mental institutions in this country and getting people the clear mental help they actually need, obviously, in some cases, and the ones that just don't need to be around anymore, like that piece of shit Jason guy. It's time to just literally give them what they deserve right now, which is a federal death penalty in this country, and charge them accordingly with that shit, and have it be options of how they, get dealt with, whether it be by wood chip or whatever else may be the case. There's like one strike laws and stuff like that at every single state level is what it is then. So anywho, but yeah, other than that, that's where we're at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Be back for Buckshot Thursday, hopefully, in about 17 hours, give or take. Unless, of course, I have a channel strike from this stream is what it is, which I shouldn't, because again, it's called Freedom of Speech, YouTube. First Amendment assholes. So don't be even trying to channel strike me for this shit, because it's all fucking truth at the end of the day. I'm speaking right now, dude. But yeah, if something does happen, I'll beat Lele's channel. Will be the Buckshot for the day is what it'll be then. So anyway, have a good one, y'all. Stay safe, stay vigilant, all that good stuff, and make sure to know exactly where your kids are at all times, and if nothing else, don't let them be put in public education anymore and homeschool them if you can, because that way you know exactly where they're at, and you know they're not going to be harmed if that be the case, because you'll be around with them is what it is. So anyway. Have a good one. Stay safe, all that good stuff. Later.